When your husband refuses to divorce you but makes videos mocking you, remember that it could be worse. You could be someone who doesn't know how to change their Instagram password, and now all of your messages to men and women have been screenshotted. Well. It seems as if the relationship between Daniele and Yohan is still ongoing. I mean, listen, it is quite sad, isn't it, that we are in a position where there's been two people that met once upon a time. It didn't work out, but now just even getting a divorce seems to be very, very challenging. Like, why is this happening? But listen, before we give any more thoughts and opinions, there is more to show. So, on Danielle's current Instagram stories, she's made a series of stories where she's exposing some screenshots of a conversation that she's had with Yohan. But let's start off with this one itself in particular, where she begins by pretty much making it abundantly clear: physical violence, sexual power, and control. So this itself in particular is already a direct shot towards himself in particular. Now it does go into better details with, or as you can see, with all the subheadings and obviously the descriptions. But we'll get back to those ones shortly. Now, with that being said, in this one itself in particular, as you can see, she has exposed a conversation. Now, sadly, this is a conversation that, we cannot necessarily read. Why? Because it is obviously, as you can see, in Spanish, I believe, the language they speak in the DR. If I'm wrong, please do correct me. Now, she did put down in English though: he doesn't change the password because he wants me to see his messages. He wants to make me uncomfortable, even though I am not interested in his life. This is textbook NED. Okay, let's proceed. Now, I wish I could translate this, but I cannot. So now here we go back to the physical, violent, sexual. And she adds in information at the bottom here by saying, I don't share this shit to be messy. And the use of that word suggests that I should instead keep it in the home and not air my dirty laundry. Do you know who that helps? Abusers, narcissists. They get to mock whoever, whenever, and we need to take the time. I'm pretty sure many say take the time, but I can't see because lot things in the way, and kill them with silence. All right, cool. Not cool, but let's continue. So in this one itself in particular, she continues at the bottom by saying, that's some white supremacist misogynistic I am not aligning with. Full stop. Not too sure what she's talking about here, but let's move on to the next one. I want a divorce and I keep being told it's being handled and I keep being played with. I don't want to handle another thing. I want this one thing to be handled by someone else, even if I have to pay for it, because I have handled and currently handle enough. I deserve that. No one can tell me differently. I mean, listen, we've always known Danielle to be a very defiant human being, okay? We've always known her to pretty much say what she's going to say and how she wants to say it, regardless of whether we are going to agree or disagree. Now, here's the thing. I have read some comments here and there where some people are saying that Danielle was the one that's making it challenging because they feel as if she really wanted a divorce, then she could have made it happen by now. Now, listen, I'm not expert with divorces, but one thing that I do know is that for a divorce to happen, both parties have to sign the paper. If one does not sign the paper, usually you can't then get divorced. You are still married in two further notes, as far as I know. Now, of course, if there's lawyers involved, maybe there's something that they can do. But again, I'm not expert with divorces. So, yeah, you can let me know about that in the comment section. Now, with that being said, she continues, and this one is in particular, and says, if you don't want drama, don't make videos about me. The Grinch learned that. Now you did it too. That is all. Now, of course, this is referring to Yohan himself in particular. Now, here is a article, or shall I say a description of more information that Danielle wants to share with us regarding the point that she is trying to make. Now, I'm not going to read this one in particular because I don't feel like something that I need to add into this video. But if you want to pause the video and read this part, feel free to do that. But now we're going to get into the video of Yohan, or of Danielle exposing Yohan. Well, let's get into it. Now, I'm just going to read exactly what the point of the video is. So, up in the top in the black box, she wrote down, here is a video he took on my retreat. He repeatedly goes back and forth between his wife and the woman in the black shirt who he was also in a relationship with, the email girl. Look at the smirk. He's a proud psychopath. Psychopath. I've kept this to myself for over a year. For whom? Who did it? Who did I help keeping it quiet? Didn't help me or my image? Sure. So here's the thing. I'll play that again, so you can therefore have another view of that video in particular, and you can see the woman in the black and also Danielle as well, and therefore you can have your own opinion. So based on what she's saying here, yes, you can identify and see in the video that he is looking at the woman in black, or at least that's what it appears like, as well as also, you know, Danielle being in the frame. Now, does this really prove the point that she's trying to make? Me personally, I can't say that I'm totally convinced has thus far, but I can see where she's going with it. You let me know how you feel about it and what you think here. And with that being said, let's move on to the next one. Now, in this one here is a screenshot of a conversation that she's having here with Yohan. I believe it's a conversation that she is having with him, unless it's a conversation that he's having with somebody else. But either way, though, Yohan's name is at the top, which is a name that you actually cannot see right now. But I promise you, his name is at the top, okay? I wouldn't lie to you now. But let's read what it says here in the black first. Here's the message where he quit his job because he didn't like his boss. He tells people I made him quit his job because of another woman. That was never true. I also had receipts and I kept it quiet. Allowed my name to be dragged because it doesn't matter what people think. I know the truth. And as you can see, the message starts off with saying, last night I had an argument with my boss because of something that happened in the show. The lights went off and I and I controlled the light to reflect the singers. He told me that since I'm going to travel, I am doing my job wrong. He told me not to count on him for any other job, and that he may need in the future that he would never hire me again. As you can see, I guess this is Danielle coming in with the evidence based on what she is pretty much exposing regarding Yohan. So now we're going to move on, and we're going to start by reading the comments in the black box in the bottom here. And it does say that I could be here for days, honestly. Hundreds of photos and screenshots and conversations with probably 100 people. I just want to move on with my life. So I just keep doing my work and letting it slide. That is not what I tell my clients to do. As you can see in the screenshot starts off with information that says, I told you, I met her at the hotel because she went to the gym to take a class like every client who goes to the gym, that it was nothing else happened. And then as you can see here in the beginning where it says this is going to be very hard for me. Because you make things difficult, I can tell you the truth. I tell you the truth. Stop talking to that woman. Don't give importance to her. I'll come back and tell you I already told you everything. This is something else that Daniel obviously wants to share and I guess expose. But now we're going to move on to the next one. And in this one itself in particular here, as you can see, it starts off with... Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, it starts off in the black box here where she comes out to explain, I hope that woman don't feel the need to be quiet so they can avoid feeling humiliated. I hope more women speak up when they are abused, lied to, cheated on, disrespected, held against their will, and made uncomfortable in any way. Cassie is Cassie. Cassie is Cassie or Casey, depending on how you want to pronounce it. She had to wait almost 10 years. Why is that? Because we want to save face. Obviously regarding to Mr. No Diddy. Well, Diddy. Yeah. And as you can see here in the little white box here, it does say, don't give me importance to that. Say, don't give importance to that. I told you that I had nothing with that woman, nor do I have contact with her, much less to talk to her about you. This is going to be fair. And of course, this is referring to the beginning bit itself in particular. And then we move on here, and I believe this one was the last one itself in particular. Yes, this one was it. And as you can see here, she finishes off with saying that you won't be able to save your face if your man F's your face up because you never told anyone you were in danger. Tell your story. Of course, I believe Danielle was trying to end this by trying to encourage other women to also speak up as well. I mean, listen, my only point, my only view, my only opinion on this one that I can say before this video is finished is that we live in a world where abuse happens a lot from both men and women. And when it does happen, a lot of the times people don't speak up for whatever reason that they have. Sometimes people do speak up. Sadly, when people do speak up, it's not always straight away. most of the time it's usually sometime way after, which isn't exactly great, but I guess speaking up is better than speaking up at all. But really and truly, I do believe that we should live in a world where people should be more confident to speak up when something like this that does happen. But also at the same time, though, there are also other people who do speak up, but they actually speak up because they're lying. Then you get those people, and those people really don't make it any easier for the people who already struggle to speak up anyway, because they are afraid that they will not be believed. Because there's been plenty of women, and I'm pretty sure men too, but I've known there's been plenty of women that have tried to speak up, but they have been ignored by the authorities and all that kind of stuff. And that is probably due to the fact that other women have done it, but they have lied. You see what I'm saying? There's so much things that we can obviously think about in this situation, but either way, though, it is not nice that people are afraid to speak up for the reason that they have. And to be honest with you, if you go around somebody and you can see signs that this person may actually they may actually be in a relationship where they are being taken advantage of, if they can't speak up, maybe you should speak up for them. But obviously, you should only speak up for them only if you have the evidence to prove that this person is really going through what they're going through. Because of course, if you speak up without no evidence and you get it wrong, well, then that's not going to be very good now, is it? But nonetheless, though, let me know your thoughts and your opinions on this situation. As far as I'm concerned, I do agree with the fact that this divorce needs to happen. It needs to happen as quick as possible. These two need to go their separate ways. Whoever's obviously right now, obviously according to Danielle, is Yohan that's the one that's delaying it. I mean, honestly, like, what benefit do you have from still being married to somebody that you're not with anymore? You know what I mean? Like, come on. Nonetheless, though, let me know your thoughts and your opinions, and we can talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe,